Hey everybody, what's going on today? I wanted to do a little discussion about the universe and cosmology. And today we're only going to use the information that mainstream science itself makes widely available to us in their articles and books and websites, etc. What you're looking at on the screen is, of course, the heliocentric model of our solar system. Now, it's recently come to my attention that there is a lot of anomalies with this model. It doesn't always work out right. And that is for another video. Because what I'm going to show you today, the model, whether you subscribe to a heliocentric, geocentric, concave model, doesn't really matter for the purposes of this video's discussion. We're going to discuss where we are in the universe. So for this, let me start off by letting you know that it's something I didn't know. Maybe some of you out there already knew this. For approximately 10 years now, maybe longer, scientists have, they're no longer, they're now trying to figure out how to explain this and still hold on to their, a majority of them are atheists and they want to still hold on to their worldview. But they've had a significant discovery that the Earth is at the center of the universe, not at some kind of virtual center, but the actual center. On this website here, it kind of gives a nice summary of what I'm talking about. Most cosmologists will not admit it publicly, but perhaps over a beer they will tell you that what is happening. Observations over the last 50 years, culminating with the Planck satellite results of March 2013, set modern science on a counter-revolution leading closer to ideas formed 500 years ago. Today's cosmology is based on two broad principles: the Copernican principle, we are not in a special place in the universe, and the cosmological principle, the Copernican principle plus isotropy, which the view that from anywhere in the universe it all looks about the same. Starting with early studies of cosmic microwave background, or CMB, and in recent years culminating with results from the COBE WMAP satellites, scientists were faced with a signal at the largest scales of the universe, a signal that pointed right back at us, indicating that we are in a special place in the universe. Without getting overly technical, the Copernican and cosmological principles required that any variation in the radiation from CMB be more or less randomly distributed throughout the universe, especially on a large scale. Results from WMAP satellite in the early 2000s indicated that when looking at large scales of the universe, the noise could be partitioned into hot and cold sections. And this partitioning is aligned with our ecliptic plane and equinoxes. This partitioning and alignment resulted in an axis through the universe, which scientists dubbed the axis of evil, because the damage it does to their theories. This axis passes right through our tiny portion of the universe. Now, Lawrence Krauss, and just to say, this obviously is a web page that clearly says that, it isn't from one of these scientists. But this quote here, that this is on this article, I'm just going to go right here to the source. It's written by him, Lawrence M. Krauss. Let's take a look at who this guy is. He's a cosmologist and a physicist, and of course in his bio he's a atheist. You can see how this is a big problem for him and for other people like him. This is a big deal because when you think about it, this isn't like evolution where you're kind of having to piece together what happened back in time. They're looking at this now. This is observable now. And they have spent billions of dollars trying to actually disprove this because they don't want it to be true. But unfortunately, 3 satellites, and the third one, Planck, was designed to operate completely different than the first 2, hoping that they would get different results. Unfortunately for them, it reaffirmed everything the first 2 satellites told them. But let's go to the source here. If you go to the article, I'm going to leave a links to everything you see on the screen in the description section below, so you can read this stuff for yourself. He writes a really long article here. You have to go all the way to the bottom to get the quote. Here he is with Stephen Hawking in the background here in a small picture. But the quote that's on the other website is right here. You can find it right here. Let's go back here because you can see it clearer. But when you look at the cosmic microwave background map, you'll also see that the structure that is observed is in fact, in a weird way, correlated with the plane of the Earth around the sun. This is Copernicus coming back to haunt us. That's crazy. We're looking out at the whole universe, and there's no way there should be a correlation of structure with our motion of the Earth around the sun. The plane of the Earth around the sun, the ecliptic, that would say we are truly the center of the universe. Now, whether you think the Earth is moving or not isn't the point here. The point is that this guy understands that we're the center of the universe, and he's having a hard time living with it. As a matter of fact, I've found that this is highly disturbing to some people. Now, to me, this gives me a sense of security, a sense of purpose, a sense of, wow, we really are, the center of creation, God's creation. I have no problem with this. To me, this is like a warm security blanket, knowing that we are, for some reason, created right here and we mean something. This isn't random. This is a Wikipedia page explaining the cosmic microwave background, and it's a lot of technical jargon. I'm trying to decipher this in layman terms so that I can understand it. But for you people that are into astrophysics or cosmology, I'll leave all these links. There is a thing here from Cornell University. There's a PDF document you can download. It's really lengthy. It has all kinds of formulas on it. Here's another one from Cornell. This is like give you an idea what's on some of these PDFs from these universities. This one's talking about the WMAP probe, and you can see here kind of stuff that's on it. And you can read through some of this stuff. It will explain in some portions kind of clear enough that you get an idea that this means something big, right? Now, this has been known widely for about 10 years or more, but you don't see this on the Discovery Channel. Nobody really talks about this. This isn't what you're being taught in school, but these scientists are trying, I think right now, trying to figure out a way to do away with this. This brings me to a point about geocentricity. There are anomalies. I don't know if you know this. I didn't know this. I thought that there had been experiments that showed the Earth was moving, and that's why scientists could tell you that as a fact. But let me just show you something here real quick, a little sidetrack. If you were to Google experiments that show the Earth is moving, you will find out that this article here and this about the pendulum, this is pretty much all they got to offer. And this has been proven as meaningless because the pendulum could be reacting to everything moving around us. You can read whole articles about that. There's this Michelson Morley experiment. All these experiments they have done. You'll find all these conspiracy things or geocentric links, but you won't find any. There are no ground experiment. They can show you the Earth is moving, and I found that shocking. Okay, but that's not the point of this video. Let's go back to talking about we're at the center of the universe. This it's irrelevant to me whether we are not moving to this particular topic here, because it doesn't matter. It's still either way. It would say we're the center. Then if you were to find out we're not moving, on top of that, that would mean we're not only the center of the universe, but the entire universe is revolving around us, which is mind-blowing, right? If that were true. But I'm still looking into that. I haven't discounted that theory, but let's just focus on what mainstream science is willing to admit. Now, they hate this so much, they call it the axis of evil, because this totally shatters their worldview if they can't, do away with this. So this is an article here, 13 more things, like science can't explain, or that science blows scientists' minds. This is a small article here about the axis of evil, as they call it. What's interesting is if you click and look at some of the other things on this list, and I ended up on a Home Depot ad somehow. Isn't that something? Okay. That's weird. The link is not working. What the heck is going on? Must be a hotspot or something. I wanted to show you. There is I can't see that. Look, there's actually a line here, like an overbleed from the ad. I'll try one more. Nope, it's going to go to the ad. Okay, there is actually, if you click here, 13 more things that don't make sense. There's an anomaly where when they slingshot spacecraft and satellites and using the Earth to get out into deep space, like the Rosetta probe, the speed acceleration caused by the Earth's gravity doesn't match what it should be. The probes end up going much faster than they should be going. So I guess you can click that on your own and look at it. This is from University of Michigan. I'll link to this PDF document. This is kind of an easy read because it's kind of written in more layman terms. But basically, this admits it right here. Why is the solar system cosmically aligned? It's really Earth. It's like right through our equator that one of these lines go through, I think. But the information here, shows you we appear to be lined up to be in the middle of the universe. This has got to make these atheist scientists like absolutely bonkers. I'm sure I'm going to get all kinds of hate comments on the bottom of this, because if you touch evolution, or in this case, I'm looking at the universe as being nothing like what it should be if we're just random, right? Then you have this article from Discovery News. Scientists finding evidence, and this suggests more like back to geocentricity. They're saying here the universe is spinning. So if the universe is spinning, are we spinning or are we not spinning? It's really weird to think about. This is the official European Space Agency for Planck, the satellite that was supposed to get rid of this problem for the scientists, that ended up making it worse. I think this is one of the data pages for Planck. Some of this stuff is clearly over my head, but if you have atheist physicists telling you that their formulas and observations show that we're the center of the universe, this one is another article from New Scientist. Planck shows almost perfect cosmos plus the axis of evil, because it's so evil if we're at the center of the universe. Axis of evil, cause for cosmic concern. Planck anomalies, they can't, it doesn't fit their science, or it's more like scientism today. It's not like they're not. I don't think they're interested in science, because if science goes against their worldview, they got to tweak the system to make it somehow work. This is why I'm concerned that the heliocentric model may not be correct, because these people invented theories to explain away the experiments that should have worked, that didn't give them the results they wanted. I'm not even sure we're dealing with science anymore. That's what worries me. So you have all this to go through if you want to take the time to go through it. Some of it, like I said, is obviously written for physicists, not for me, but I can read the other parts. I can read their analysis. It's quite clear what they're concerned about. And just think about that for a second. If science shows that we're at the center of the universe and that the universe is perfectly constructed in a non-random way, I think that atheists will still find a way to deny it. If you look at, I'm going to do a video soon about Jesus. I'm going to call it the Jesus factor, and how that factors into everything. But one of the main things I'll focus on that video is a lecture by Dr. Gary Habermas. I think this guy is the best at explaining this stuff, because he's using their own information against them. He's very logical, and he doesn't really argue. He just presents data. And you should check out my playlists. I do have neat information in my playlist. If you go to Strange Universe, let's see, I'll bring up my playlists here so you can see what's on there. If you're interested in looking at a lot of this stuff, there is Strange Universe has 155 videos right now. And you'll find a lot of mind-blowing stuff in there that'll make you wonder about all this. If you're more interested in learning about all the evidence for Jesus, I would click on this playlist to find out. Because you see, if you can, and I believe this for a fact, that we have put people in prison for less evidence, and we have executed people for less circumstantial evidence. You can have a court case beyond reasonable doubt proof that Jesus resurrected from the dead. And once you can do that, and it's fascinating to watch atheists basically deny this after they with the evidence that they themselves admit as factual historical evidence. So when you watch the debates, for example, it's not a question of the evidence. It's a question of the atheist saying that is not enough evidence, which is fascinating to me, because people will just deny things because they don't like it, which is their choice, I guess. Their free will choice to do that. But if you look at the debates or some of the lectures from Habermas, it's fascinating. Get some of his books, go through his bibliography. You'll be blown away. I bet you. I didn't know. I went to. I thought I was informed, but about this stuff, and I obviously wasn't. There's a lot of good videos here. Another interesting playlist is my UFO playlist. If you're interested in that, it's fascinating. What it indicates about UFO activity. It's not really being alien, but more or less being demonic activity, or activity from fallen angels. That's for another video also. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Check out all the links below. I'll put everything you saw on the screen down there if you're interested in reading it or looking through it. And I hope you all have a good day. I'll see you next time. Bye.